April 24, 2015, the world awoke to a headline that sounded more like a crime novel than automotive news. 11 million cars were secretly programmed to cheat pollution tests worldwide. In the span of a single breath, the name Volkswagen, once a symbol of German engineering pride, was thrust into the darkest corners of corporate deceit, exposing a web of software, lawsuits, and shattered trust that would reverberate for years to come. The story begins in the early 2000s, when diesel technology promised a new era of efficiency and low emissions. German automakers, led by Volkswagen, touted diesel-powered vehicles as the green alternative to gasoline, promising drivers better fuel mileage without compromising performance. To meet tightening U.S. and European emission standards, manufacturers faced a paradox: produce engines that could pass laboratory tests while still delivering the power and torque that consumers demanded. Volkswagen's answer was a piece of code hidden deep within the engine control unit, later infamously dubbed the defeat device. This software could detect when a car was undergoing an emissions test by monitoring parameters such as steering wheel angle, vehicle speed, and even atmospheric pressure, and temporarily alter engine behavior to reduce nitrogen oxide (NOx) output to legal limits. Once the test ended, the engine reverted to a more aggressive setting, emitting up to 40 times the permitted level of pollutants. The deception was not a small, isolated glitch. It spanned an entire generation of cars. From 2009 to 2015, Volkswagen installed the defeat device in roughly 2.8 million Audi, VW, and Porsche models sold in the United States, and an additional 8.5 million vehicles across Europe, Asia, and South America. The scandal, later christened Dieselgate, was uncovered after an independent research group, the International Council on Clean Transportation, teamed up with West Virginia University's Center for Alternative Fuels, Engines, and Emissions to conduct real-world testing. Their results showed NOx levels far exceeding legal thresholds, prompting the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to issue a notice of violation in September 2015. The fallout was swift and brutal. Within days, Volkswagen's CEO, Martin Winterkorn, resigned, and the company's share price plummeted by more than half. Governments around the globe launched investigations, and the automaker faced a cascade of lawsuits, criminal charges, and civil penalties. In the United States alone, the Department of Justice announced a $2.8 billion civil settlement, while criminal fines and restitution topped $4.3 billion. A separate settlement in Europe required Volkswagen to buy back or fix affected vehicles, costing the company an estimated euros 18 billion. The courtroom drama that followed painted a stark portrait of corporate culture gone rogue. In 2017, former Volkswagen executive Oliver Schmidt pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States, accepting a 40-month prison sentence and a $1 million fine. Several other engineers and managers were also charged, though most avoided prison time in exchange for cooperation. The trial revealed internal emails that showed senior executives were aware of the software's existence and deliberately concealed it from regulators, investors, and customers. One memo, dated March 2008, bluntly warned that the software is a critical component for meeting the emissions targets, and that any attempt to remove it would jeopardize the project's timeline. When the verdicts were rendered, the message was clear: corporate misconduct, even when cloaked in sophisticated engineering, would not escape the long arm of the law. In June 2020, a U.S. federal judge approved a settlement that required Volkswagen to spend $2 billion on clean air technology and to fund an independent trust for owners of affected vehicles. The company also agreed to overhaul its compliance structure, establishing an independent board of directors to oversee environmental and safety standards. Beyond the courtroom, Dieselgate reshaped the entire automotive landscape. Consumer confidence in diesel technology nosedived. prompting many manufacturers to accelerate the shift toward electrification. In Europe, where diesel once dominated new car sales, the market share fell dramatically, and several governments introduced stricter testing procedures, including real driving emissions assessments that mimic everyday conditions. The scandal also sparked a broader conversation about the ethical responsibilities of engineers and the perils of placing profit above public health. For the millions of drivers whose vehicles were implicated, the aftermath has been a mix of inconvenience and lingering mistrust. Some owners received buyback offers, while others were reimbursed for repairs that could not fully restore the original performance. Environmental groups estimate that the excess NOx emissions from the cheated vehicles contributed to thousands of premature deaths and hundreds of thousands of asthma attacks, a human toll that no financial settlement can truly erase. Volkswagen, once the darling of the auto world, now operates under a cloud of vigilance. The company has pledged to invest heavily in electric vehicle development, aiming to launch more than 70 new electric models by 2030. Its brand narrative is being rewritten from clean diesel to clean future, a strategic pivot that seeks to distance the marque from its tainted legacy. Yet the memory of Dieselgate remains a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that the intersection of technology and ethics is fraught with peril when transparency is sacrificed on the altar of market share. As the dust settles, the world watches not only how Volkswagen rebuilds its reputation, but also how regulators, engineers, and consumers adapt to a new era of heightened scrutiny. The scandal has left an indelible imprint on corporate governance, prompting tighter oversight and a renewed emphasis on whistleblower protections. Subscribe to The Verdict for more stories like this.